Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth report on the state of co-prosperity sphere. This one recorded in 1966 and dealing with the development during 1965. 1965 has brought us hope, the hope in the form of numbers, and to be more precise, in the form of positive numbers, because the Japanese economy has grown. It has grown by only 0.55%, but it is a growth nonetheless. So after 2 years of heavy and then mild recession, we have returned to sort of prosperity. It still doesn't remove the massive drop that we had in 1963, however. But yeah, we're back. So the general and total growth of our Japanese empire, or the Dai Nippon Teikoku, is minus 1.5% throughout the playthrough. It is very likely that we might actually go above zero this year, because we already have 1.2% projected GDP growth, and with the additional boosts that we are planning to get throughout the year, we might very likely go above 1.5%. It's going to be a lot about timing, but we're going to see. It is a possibility. Who is really starting to worry me, though, is the Republic of China. They had another amazing year, 28.8% of growth. Not all of that is actually just growth of their economy, because they annexed Shinan Administrative Office, which had roughly 6 billion American dollars in GDP. So their actual growth is somewhere around, or maybe between 15 to 20%, but that is still massive. They have already added more than half of their entire economy in the past couple of years. They're currently sitting at 62.52% since the start of the game, which is just unbelievable. And I always say that I'm joking and that I was joking, but they really could catch up to us pretty quickly if things don't turn around. So Japan needs to jump on the growth bandwagon and just haul. We were looking really good in the beginning, but then we got hit and smacked, and they kept growing. So really not great, really not feeling good. Empire of Manchuria had a pretty decent growth of 2.54%. After the less than a 1% growth last year, it is pretty good, so I'm not going to complain about that, sitting at 33.53%. Still, they're, I think, the only nation together with us that has a negative growth since the start of the game. They're down by 3.5%. But one or two more years and they'll be back the same as we. State of Guangdong had a pretty decent growth of nearly 10%, 9.95, which is also pretty good. They might be growing so fast that they could skip over Manchuria soon. We're gonna see. Assad Hind government, as always, steady as she goes, 3.77%. They've been having really every single year between 3 and 4%. Really happy with their progress. Republic of Indonesia has lost almost half of its economy this year, and actually overall, but it is because of the massive conflict that's happening in Indonesia right now. So it's not a surprise that they're losing that much. Frankly, I think the civil wars should have a bit more of an impact on the economy. I know that it is hard to model, but you could just add an event that's gonna make it for you, because you'll see that Germany has already passed it, and it has been only a year or so. So, we'll see. We'll see what they're gonna be like once this is over. Republic of Thailand, steady growth, 3.97%, not much to say there. Philippine Shuttle Ranges Seifu added 1.85%, so their growth is actually slowing down pretty dramatically, but still, growth is growth. Empire of Vietnam added 1.22%, which is pretty good, slow and steady growth. They had that since the beginning of the game. If they continue like this, I won't complain. It's fairly mild, but pretty good. Union of Burma, same problem, just growing slightly faster. 2.36%. They actually jumped over Empire of Vietnam this year and moved up to 9th place, while they were at... Actually, no, they were 10th. They actually jumped over them a long time ago. Surprising. I thought that it happened this year. Interesting. Guangxi Province, growth of 2.82%, not bad. Xinjiang Administrative Office, 2.65%, not bad. Mengyang United Autonomous Government actually had a growth of 5.04%, which I believe is the third highest growth. Yep, third highest growth in the entirety of the co-prosperity sphere. They're doing pretty good overall, over 21.5% total since the start of the game. Guizhou Province, nothing. They don't exist anymore, as you guessed. I haven't even mentioned Yunnan. It's the same thing. Seihoku Homigun, they added 1.77%. Steady growth, not much to complain. They're a very small economy, and they continue being a very small economy. Democratic Republic of Malaya added 3.65%. Really nice, steady growth. I think that if their inflation is mild, having a growth of over 3% is actually not bad if they can keep it up. Kingdom of Cambodia added 3.15%, not bad. Kingdom of Laos added 4.14%, not bad. Nampo-Guysanghana actually added 1.02%, which is barely a growth, but again, it is a growth, and they never had a bad year. So they're still, I mean, it might seem funny that I'm saying like good growth when they added 1%, but look at us. We're actually in the negative. So they added 6.18%, which is about 7.5% more than we did. So, who am I to complain about that? Amur, unfortunately, is gone, and they will be missed. What can we do? Bhutan added just slightly over 2%, 2.02%. And as I mentioned, Shinan Administrative Office has been annexed, which means that the positions you can see here are, shuffling around. The added 2 is because of the, removal of Amur and Shinan, but still we had some minor changes. Overall, when you look at the total growth, I think that the co-prosperity sphere are doing pretty good, with the exceptions of us, Manchuria, and Indonesia, with the caveat that, Indonesia is obviously at war, so we can't really blame them. Top 10 world economies. Not much has happened here. United States, mega growth of 1.91%, so not bad. We are second still with 0.55%, but Germany is right behind us with 2.8% growth. And you can see that they already, jumped above where they were in the beginning. Considering they have the civil war, this really seems unrealistic. But I don't remember if I was complaining about that when I was playing Germany, so now I feel a little bit hypocritical. But, it never really struck me that there was such a massive gap there that should be really a bit more impactful. Italy, 1.93% growth, not bad. United Kingdom on position number 5, less than 1% growth, so they might be heading for recession. We're gonna see. They never really did that well when you look at that. So, Republic of China, we've already commented on that. Empire of Manchuria, position number 8, we've already commented on that. They were actually pushed to position number 8 from their 7th position by Brazil, which is now number 7. Not really sure what's happening in Brazil, but they have insane growth of roughly 10% every year or more. So, they're here to stay. Iberian Union is at position number 9 with 5.5%, and Republic of India 10th with 5.3%. Generally speaking, we can envy pretty much everyone in the world right now when it comes to growth, but hopefully next year is going to be really positive. Global statistics, total world's GDP increased by almost 3.5%, 3.49%. Total sphere GDP increased by 2.85%, which is also not bad considering that we added only a very slight amount to that, and Indonesia is at war. Total sphere trade, though, dropped slightly by 3.81%. In the actuality, it's 7 billion American dollars. I know I said GDP, but it's not GDP. And sphere share actually dropped by 0.82%, which is a 0.2% difference. We are contesting at 24.3%. Turns out our peak was in 1963 when we had 25% of the world's economy. It would really help if we managed to actually sway Italy and get it incorporated. That would be just an unbelievable boost considering our total sphere GDP. Yeah, we would be adding at least 1/3 to it. So we'll see. And last but not least, additional statistics. Total debt of Japan has grown by 1.46 billion American dollars to 262.15 billion. But interestingly, the debt to GDP ratio remained the same, 105.8%. Considering the US surplus is negative but only 0.74% of our total budget, we have a big chance that even if we didn't move the economy, the relative debt to GDP ratio would go down by around 0.5% next year, which would be great. I don't know if we're going to be anywhere near the ability to lower the actual debt in the upcoming years, but if we can lower the ratio, that's good enough for me. We've actually lost a couple of production units. I think this is for the first time since we started the game. We lost 5. So we are contesting at 169, but remember we are going back to growth, so it is very likely this number will jump up significantly in the next update. We also lost over 500,000 people in manpower. We're currently sitting at 3.99 million people in reserve. I don't remember when this went. I think we changed some laws or something which which changed the calculation and discounted or discredited part of the population from draft. Not sure. Our army forces size increased by 2% to 328,780 men. Navy size... Okay, this is not supposed to be a percentage. So I'm going to change it to a number. But then again, it's going to do it like this. Oh god. Let me just change the formatting. Okay. And I don't want to do it. Come on. Okay, it's the same as it was last year, so let's just do it this way. We had no change in the size of the Navy, and we had a 5% increase in the size of Air Force from 148,560 to 144,800. I hate this. Sorry, guys. I didn't recognize that or realize. Well, I didn't recognize it either. But the fact that I didn't realize that we had an issue here with the formatting. So 127.77. Okay. So the new population of Japan is 127,770,000 people, which is an increase of nearly 4 million people compared to last year. Poverty rate unfortunately keeps increasing. We are now at 35.36%, which is just crazy. We'll need to lower that significantly very soon. We've already discussed how we're going to do that, so I'm not going to go back to that. Now, the score of USA. Military 885, which is an increase of 49 points. Economy 419, which is an increase of 39 points. Overall increase of 270 points to 2,622. Germany increased their military score by 188 to 731. They increased their economy by 85 points to 372. and total increase of 238 points to 1514. Japan, we increased both our economy and the military score by 3 points each, and total increase by 15 to 886. So United States are waving us, we're losing sight of them even, while Germany is pushing at us from the bottom. So we'll have interesting times ahead. The positive news, though, is the last three statistics. Approval in the House of Peers increased to 61%, public approval increased to 51%, and government stability to 76%, which is the highest number since we started tracking this. We increased it by 30% since last year. Public approval by 13.5%, and approval of House of Peers by 16%. Overall, very dynamic year. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in 1966. And hopefully some more positive things are going to happen. And I'm going to look into the possibility of actually having some graphical representations for you. I think we have enough numbers for that for now. So I'll probably rework this table and see if I can make it a little bit more cute. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next episode.